Hey, what's going on out there, y'all? Peace and blessings. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Lamar J. Sapp. I'm a filmmaker out of Brooklyn, New York. And I also freelance doing commercial work and corporate work. A couple of other things as well. I really love the SONY FX30. I talk about that camera a lot, which is what brought you here today. So without further ado, let's get into what I got to say about the SONY FX30. A lot of people I see doing videos, and this is not to knock nobody video, you do what you want to do, but this is just to kind of like chime in on the image stabilization. I did a video where I talked about 5 things I love about this camera, and image stabilization was definitely one of them. I had a chance to use the stabilization without thinking, without going out to use it. I kind of was like passing through Newark, New Jersey by Prudential Center, and I said, let me just jump out and shoot some random footage with it. I had the bare bones camera, nothing weighting it down, just the camera. I had a 50mm on there, nifty 50, which is a very light lens, and that's 75. For those who don't know, that's like a 75 because it's a crop sensor camera. So that's very, very finicky when it comes to like stabilization, right? And I had the handle that come with it. And I jumped out and I started randomly shooting stuff, putting a story together. And I was so overwhelmed by what I was shooting and the things I was capturing, it didn't even dawn on me that this thing was being so stable. I like the stabilization on any camera if it has it, but for me, it's all about motion. Like there's a difference between shaky footage and cinematic motion. And it wasn't until I got back to the studio and put it into the program, DaVinci Resolve, is when I was like, damn, this footage looked kind of smooth. To say I was doing it handheld with a 50mm, nothing weighting it down, no gimbal, nothing. And I was like, this looked pretty smooth. And I was shocked. I was like, this blew me away, because prior to that, I've used cameras like the Sony a7 IV, and I didn't get the stabilization on that camera that I bought in. I was kind of bought into. I really didn't. Now, maybe I was doing something wrong. Your mileage may vary. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but I've tried several times. I don't drink no coffee. I'm not nervous about anything. No one's chasing me. So I didn't have nothing to be nervous about. My hands was it just wasn't working for me. And so I've shot other videos after that, and I was just like, damn, this stabilization is really dope. Like it really works. It really works. And that's what I want to talk about today. Like a lot of people make videos and they compare the stabilization on this camera to, cameras, even old cameras like the Panasonic GH5, my bad, which had epic stabilization. Like I think that's one of the best cameras, to date, built-in stabilization, hands down. But, they'll compare it. And my thing is like, when you're comparing these cameras, it's like no camera is perfect. I'm not saying that the stabilization on the FX30 is perfect, but I'm saying it's far better than a lot of the other handheld mirrorless cameras, if you will, that I've dealt with. And I've shot with a lot of makes and models, y'all. A lot of makes and models, from Panasonic, Canon, Sony, Blackmagic. I've shot with them. And this one, to say it's for the price point of $17.99, let's round it off to $2,000. You get people comparing this camera to the FX3, a $4,000 camera, rounding it up. And it's just like, outside of the things that it share, if you're gonna compare the things that it equally share, do what you gotta do. Do your comparisons. But when I see them comparing things like low light capability, you can't compare a full frame camera to a crop sensor camera, low light capability. Obviously, it's gonna be a difference. You can't compare just full frame in general to a crop sensor camera. I'm not one of them people who get into a lot of the deep specs of these cameras. There's tons of people out there who do that, and they do it very well. Particularly Gerald Undone. He's a beast at stuff like that. You could go check him out. I don't get into all that. I'm just coming at you guys from a day-to-day, using the camera on the streets, on real projects, real-time functionality of the camera and what I've experienced with the camera. This camera, bare bones, out the box, the stabilization is dope. It's dope. And I just want to reiterate that the stabilization works. You can't jump up and down. I wouldn't run down the block trying to get stabilization with it. I wouldn't stomp when I walk, all those things. You walk appropriately, you do the best you can, and trust me, with the practice, you'll get that nice cinematic motion that gives your footage that look. So you don't want to have to worry about, I tried everything I can and this camera just don't got it. It has it. If there's something you agree with what I'm saying, or even if you don't agree, please leave a comment below. If you made it this far in the video, please like, subscribe. I appreciate you for sticking around, for giving me your time. You could be doing a lot of things with your time and you giving me your time. I appreciate that. If you're shooting with the FX30, I would like to see what you guys created. I know it's dope, you know what I mean? And until the next time we get into it, man, y'all stay up, move in the vibration of love as always, and keep shooting, y'all. I love y'all. Peace.